All right, guys. I just watched Mark's video, at least the news portion, and I saw some very interesting stuff about the polls going down on the East Coast. Now, there was one thing he missed, though. It seems like it was kind of centered in Virginia Beach. Now, I have been to Virginia Beach a million times. If you guys have heard the story about when my best friend in the Navy actually took a bullet in the face for me, it was in Virginia Beach. And he was shot by someone else in the Navy who just happened to be from the town over where I'm from. I mean, crazy story, but anyways. So I just wanted to get this out there real quick. So if Virginia Beach was the place where all these polls are going down. Now, Seattle, as far as Seattle goes, as far as important places, like as military wise, they do have Whidbey Island. Now, I would be curious to know if the polls that went down in Seattle are close to Whidbey Island. If they are, then this just lays more evidence to my theory. So, what I saw on Moth, I just watched it right now, and what I saw on Moth was that I was just about to send a message to somebody, and then I looked at my notifications and it said the Moth video from last night because I missed it. Because I try to call in, and for some reason I keep getting hung up on. So it's like, why even bother? I can just watch it, the next day, and I'll stay up until 4 in the morning and watch it. So, anyways, I watched some of it today. I'm gonna end up watching the whole thing. I love it. I love mine. But one thing I think he missed is if all the polls going down are in the Virginia Beach area, well, our largest military presence in the world is Norfolk, Virginia, Virginia Beach. I mean, and our most powerful asset is the U.S. Navy, and that is our biggest base. That's where it goes down. As far as the West Coast, it's San Diego and Pearl Harbor, kind of the two of them. But the East Coast, which basically, that's the West Coast, you gotta think Asian countries. East Coast, you have to think, Europe, Africa, Middle East. So basically, that's a very important place. And if you look at the names of the streets, um, Olivia, this is gonna be a really quick one. So if you look at the names of the streets, one of them even says like military, like South Military Way or something like that. So this is obviously a very strategic location, and polls are going down there. So he didn't really mention the military aspect of it because most people think Virginia Beach, they think a bunch of tanned old guys or beautiful girls in bikinis. No, yes, but also a huge military presence, the biggest military presence in the world as far as the United States goes. So I mean, that is a strategic location to be attacked. I think that was an attack. I think it was in response to obviously what was going on in Venezuela. Um, we were covering that all day. And also, he was talking about the Seattle. I'm curious to know. So, anybody from the Washington area, because I know there's a lot of people who watch Marfoogle. And I put Marfoogle in the title on purpose. I'm pretty sure I put it in the title because people from Washington, that way people would come and just at least see this. People from Washington would be able to tell me. Or I could just look it up, but since I did break the story, and it would have been nice if Moff at least once, said this story with 26 polls, and now he's following it up and he's doing a great job. I mean, he's on the street doing his thing. He's I broke it. He's reporting it. But it'd be nice to get, to just say, hey, by the way, Red Pill Dispensary broke this story and I'm reporting it and I'm on the ground and, basically doing everything else. I mean, Marfoogle was taking that story over, rightfully so. That's his hometown and he's done a great job with it. I've gone on to other things. But, it'd be nice if we just said, by the way, this story was broken by Red Pill live and I had one of those guys at work on the polls on the phone giving us information about how this is literally impossible. You would need winds of over 100 miles an hour for something like this to maybe even potentially happen. So it's definitely some kind of other thing going on. So that's all I'm saying. It'd be nice to get a little bit of credit and just say, hey, um, the Red Pill Dispensary, the Red Pill News Dispensary broke this story. I'm reporting it, and I've been following up on it. That's it. Be nice. Doesn't never happened, but it'd be nice. He saw it on my channel, and then he took it, and he's done great with it. And please, anything you see on my channel, like just take it. But if it's something like that I broke, like live, you gotta give the guy credit. That's the problem with journalism these days, is no one gets credit. It only matters who's first to it if you're on Twitter. That's the only place where it matters if you're first. Oh, then I'll put Marf in the title then. I'll switch it afterwards. It gives me an option. I'll put Marfoogle in the title. I'm gonna put after watching Marfoogle. Da da da. But anyway, so those weren't. Now, if like I said, Whidbey Island, it's a very important military location in Washington. Now, if those poles in Seattle are near Whidbey Island, then that's saying a lot. If they're not, it might be unrelated because those poles came down. These poles more so were like disabled and like blew up, which sounds more like a strike, something. I mean, both of them, there's more to it, but this one sounds more like military action. But then again, it could be both, especially if this is near Ruby Island. And then again, who knows what kind of things they have going on in Seattle. So there could be some other strategy to that. Anyway, so I just wanted to put that out there real quick. Basically, that it's not Virginia Beach. It's not there by accident. That is where the largest military force the world has ever seen is gathered in the most condensed area. So Norfolk, Virginia. Virginia Beach, Hampton, all around there. So that's the reason. If you look at some of the addresses he was showing when he shows the show, it even says like South Military Way for one of them. So, that's probably the reason. It sounds like somebody did that to us. In an attempt to, like I always say, the first thing, knock out the communications. So in an attempt to kind of, take down power lines, take out power, and knock out communications. And like you said, it might have been like a mini EMP, but it sounds like it wasn't exactly successful, but they were able to do something. And which it just kind of fuels the whole thing about my theory about what's going on in Venezuela. Failed coup. I thought the coup would work because it was being backed by the Americans. As soon as I saw it failed, I was like, oh, wait a second. Yeah. So basically, I think that the coup was a way to bait Maduro and use Guaido as a patsy to attack Venezuela. So at the same time as going at it with Iran. I mean, that's why easily this could spark World War III. And it looks like an electronic, like I said, it's already started. It's just been an electronic war. And I think that what just happened in Virginia Beach is an example of it. Because that is, like I said, the most important military installation we have. And as far as and that would make sense with the tsunamis and, alert to Jersey. I mean, that's just right there, real close. There's New Jersey and Delaware, which aren't that big as far as on the coast. And boom, you got Virginia. So it's probably southern Jersey. I would just guess. Um, Although it's less populated, but still, tsunami. So what would cause that? Well, some type of, I would think some kind of underwater explosion. As I also saw on the show, they found a whale that was like property of Russia. They were using it probably for like its sonar abilities, and it must have escaped. Which that was an amazing story as well. I love Marfoogle, and I love his show, but the only thing I can say is, I mean, I know I busted his balls the other day. I don't think he took that serious. I think, he has a sense of humor, but just when you in the future when someone breaks a story, I mean, when someone's reporting a story and going in depth, always, 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 because this is being lost in journalism. It only happens on Twitter because, that's just the way it works on Twitter. Give the person that broke the story credit. That's only right. Because the person that broke the story isn't exactly the person who is going to, be able to, take that story and run with it. I don't have the ability. I'm out here. But it's good that he's out there in Seattle. And I caught it. And it'd be nice to just, when he reports on just, the story broken by a red pill dispensary. That's all I ask for. I mean, he's done a lot for me, but as far as journalism goes, I just think that's fair. And if anyone thinks otherwise, leave it in the comments.